It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 of the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the NOFSRL Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Homestead-Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida. We're here for race number 2 of season number 3 of the Cabela's Cup Series. This is the Genesis Medical 400. 42 cars going to go around this mile-and-a-half track for 54 laps, and it's going to be a good one here under the lights this gorgeous night in Homestead, Florida. We're just about set to get it started. Let's go down trackside and get this pace lap going. And the engines fire here at Homestead. 42 gonna roll off. Darian Arnsdorf on the front row after a blistering fast time in qualifying. He's gonna start alongside Ryan Durrani in the 34, coming in for Ace Motorsports. In row number 2, we find team owner for Team Ninja Rapids. It's Ben Gorge alongside Keegan Thompson, the 46 teammate to pole sitter Darren Arnsdorf out of the All-Star Speed team. In row 3, it's Sam and Oskin in the 83 for Trinity River Racing, alongside Mike Nicholas in the 17 for Logan Sport. In row 4, we find the 59 of Mitchell Collins for Fitzwater Australia Racing, alongside the 51 of Ethan Lewis for Team Velocitar. And rounding out the top 10, RJ Rosero, the 13 for Chimera Racing, alongside the 38 for Rock Car Racing, Sofia Fragniti. And you'll see the rest of the starting lineup and the Bucky's race report on the left side of your screen. The previous winners coming into this race, Ryan Benjamin in Season 1 and Evan Hunter in Season number 2. Neither one of them back as drivers for Season 3, so we're going to have a new winner here at Homestead. It's going to be a fantastic race here under the lights. The calm before the storm is over. The Genesis Medical 400 gets the green flag. We're racing at Homestead. Out of turn number 4, it's Darian Arnsdorf leading the field back to the line, but 3 wide there for second. Brorich for the time being at the line. Durrani's up top. Sam and Oskin on the inside. Oskin looks like he's going to have the jump coming off of turn number 2. And he and Durrani are going to be side by side. Some cars scraping the wall on behind. They'll gather it back up. Sam and Oskin still on the bottom line. Durrani trying to work the top side there. Keegan Thompson also up top of the 46. The man who almost swept Speed Weeks there along the top side. You can kind of make the top side work here, but the preferred line is definitely going to be in the middle. And you'll see here with Ethan Lewis, he's poking ahead of Nathan Smith right now, but Smith actually stuck better there on the inside in that 84 car. But all the shuffling going on, it's Darian Arnsdorf still leading, but Sam Oskin and Ryan Durrani stretching away from the rest of the field. They're going to try to reel him in here, coming to lap number 4. Already 3 laps through this race. On to lap 4, 51 to go. Expecting pit cycles around lap 30 or so. So they'll just about split the race evenly here. And it'll be interesting to see what works. The overcut, the undercut, or right in the middle. Typically, it's the undercut. So we'll just have to see what happens here in the when the laps go by here at Homestead. We did not go caution-free last season, but Homestead is not a very accident-prone track, so maybe we'll get lucky and have an incident-free race here at Homestead. And meanwhile, on the inside, here comes Sam Oskin in the 83. Darren Arnsdorf, they're side by side for the lead here, coming down the back straightaway and off into the third turn. Durrani's going to take a look to the inside behind Sam and Oskin. Arnsdorf slips, and Oskin They're still side by side off of turn number 4. Nobody's going to clear yet, nobody giving an inch. But it is Samadowski at the line and off into 1. He has the nose advantage on the inside. But Arnsdorf's not letting him get away. He's still on the outside side by side. The advantage a little further to Osgen that time as Durrani comes into the picture and looks like Osgen's going to officially clear him. 83 to the lead in the Genesis Medical 400 on to lap number 7. Ryan Durrani there going for second position on Darian Arnsdorf. I am impressed so far with the run of Ethan Lewis in the 51. He fell out early, as did Ryan Durrani in Daytona. But working his way back up there on the inside, slipped a little early on, and is starting to work his way back up through the field. And how about this? 3 wide for second as Rosero goes to the inside of Durrani and Arnsdorf. Durrani's going to have the advantage going off into turn number 1. And RJ Rosero's going to get to the inside of Darian Arnsdorf and potentially take third position away, unless that 14 can cut to the inside of the 34, which he almost did coming out of turn number 2. Will Parrish in the 0 for Ruby Motorsports. He's going to try to make it 3 wide there on the inside with that Sprite Chevrolet. 3 wide coming out of the turn. It's still going to be Rosero leading this bunch as he was able to get through the middle there. So the further the field fans out, looks like the middle groove is going to be the preferred line here in this early run. It could get more to the outside as more rubber's laid down. Maybe on the inside, but I think the middle line may die off a little as this race goes on. But nevertheless, the leaders are staying right up there. Sam Osgen, Ryan Durrani, and RJ Rosero were up in the middle line there. Will Parrish looked to be on the low line there going through turn 3 and 4 the last time through. And he almost got to the inside of that 13, so potentially the inside coming to life here. As we're almost 10 laps through at Homestead. Parrish gonna take a look down low. Rosero got a better jump through turn 3 and 4 that time, so they will stay 1, 2, 3, 4 with Osgen, Durrani, Rosero, Parrish, Darian Arnsdorf. Pole sitter slips back to the 5th position. His teammate Keegan Thompson currently side by side with Trey Smith in the 77 and Sam Osgen, who does the undercut to the insiders. Not Sam Osgen, Sebastian Kukulon, Sam Osgen's teammate there for Trinity River Racing in the 82. Down low into turn 3, and Alexander Rowe might have a chance to make it a 3 wide race here. Again off turn 4, and he will. But he bogged out at the exit of the corner, so he will slip back down low and fall in behind Sebastian Kukulon. Looking a little deeper in the field, we find our Daytona 500 winner, Benny Watson, in the 53 car. Currently, as far as scoring goes, he is sitting in the 25th position, side by side with Ben Young in the 2, who again has Apple coming onto that car for the first time this season. He's had DeWalt, Stanley Black & Decker on that car for Daytona and New Smyrna. Now with Apple on that car and a lot more sponsorship there for that Blackout Motorsports team. Having a solid run inside the top 25. Now on the low line, he could have a chance to close in and maybe even battle with the leaders. Benny Watson, however, not having a very good start to the race for what he was hoping would be another stellar race after the Daytona 500. Stuck on that outside, it's very hard to work his way through this field here, especially with how rough Mitchell Collins and his teammate Andrew Miller even have been getting early on in this run. He's still up there on the outside, can't really go anywhere. Miller's going to benefit there on the bottom, and Collins and Davenport dive to the inside of the 53. Collins is going to be the benefactor from that. So as he continues to slip back, looking through the rest of the field here, your top uncharted driver in the race so far. They're both not running particularly well, but it is Max Anderson in the 31 ahead of Joshua Harrison. It's not exactly a surprise because Max Anderson did finish 4th in the Homestead race, and now as Harrison gets by, looked like the 31 scraped the wall a little coming out of turn 2 there. But Max Anderson did have a really good run a couple weeks ago in the Scots National Series here at Homestead. got a 4th place finish, was even battling for the win with Juan Rodriguez and Declan Wellington Turner. Got overtaken by Mike Cook late, now sits in the 42nd position on the track right now, but is going to be on the low line and potentially going to be able to work his way back up. And how about this battle here? They looked like they may have been 4 wide going into turn 3 while we were going back through the rest of the field. But Will Parrish has benefited and gone to the 2nd position. It is still Samet Ozgen leading this. Ozgen on track to look for his 2nd career Cabela's Cup Series victory. Has not won since Season 1 at Chicagoland, and that was due to a fuel mileage finish. So Ozgen's having a fantastic run to start here at Homestead. He dominated the early part of New Smyrna, but fell back late. Looked like he might have a little competition coming from the 0 of Will Parrish here as he closes in out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. RJ Rosero and Darren Arnsdorf still going to go at it there for 3rd. Arnsdorf's going to dive to the inside in 3 wide as Stapleton goes way up high on top of Durrani and Lewis. A 2x2x2 stretch right here, battling all for the 5th position here. Trey Smith's going to cut to the inside of Chris Reynolds in the 42. Boy, this is getting tight once again. It started off way tighter than this. They got a little strung out, but they've closed back in on each other, and now side by side for the lead. Will Parrish on the inside of Samet Ozgen. Side by side, it is Parrish at the line, and off into turn 1. The inside line's going to benefit the 0, so it will be Will Parrish taking the lead here in the Genesis Medical 400. Not quite clear of Samet Ozgen yet, though. Ozgen's going to try to come back on the outside. Parrish is going to clear him now, though. We are closing in on pit cycles, though. I'd say we are about 10 laps out. Is now up to lap 21 here. 34 laps to go in this race. Behind Trey Smith, pulled up into, or slid up into Lewis, and they are 4 wide for the 5th position. That's almost too much down the back straightaway. Lewis will fall out of it, and still 3 wide going off into 3. Smith up top, Durrani in the middle, Kukulon down low, and Durrani looks like he's going to benefit from it. Not quite. Samet Ozgen's coming, not Samet Ozgen, Kukulon's coming back on the inside. And they touch going into turn 1. Kukulon into the back of the 34. They'll hold on to it for the time being. Meanwhile, up front, Samet Ozgen's going back for the lead, but Arnsdorf and Rosero are closing back in. Could be a 4-car battle for this lead here in just a couple laps. But it's still the 14 and the 13 battling among themselves as Ozgen goes back to the lead. Kukulon stretches away into the 5th position ahead of Arctic Racing's Trey Smith, the team owner and driver of that 77 car. His teammate, fellow Arctic Racing driver Trey Wright, is deep in the field now, all the way in the back, actually. 7.5 seconds out of the lead, and Season 2 champion Kanan Miller is not having a very good night either, now in 41st. Ben Crouch, one who I highlighted in qualifying, might have a good shot to get up to the front and win this race. Even though he was starting on the outside line, he was starting 14th this race. He now sits in the 34th position on track right now. As we'll check back in up front, we have 4 cars under a blanket as Parrish got back around Samet Ozgen. Darren Arnsdorf to 3rd, RJ Rosero to 4th. We're about 5-6 laps away from pit cycles, so they can afford to go at it now, but they just don't want to wreck their car in the process. Trey Smith got around Sebastian Kukulon. Nathan Stapleton going to the inside of the 82 now. Side by side through turn 4, and Stapleton looks like he might have the advantage at the line. Nope, Kukulon got him. But Stapleton's going to have the inside going into turn 1. Oh, he slipped up. Is that going to let Josiah Robinson in the 52 to the inside? Looks like it might. but not going to get to the inside of Kukulon just yet. Kukulon might even cut down low. It looks like he's going to. Cuts to the middle of the track, and that is the fastest way around Homestead right now. Darian Ornsdorf, though, going for the lead on Samet Ozgen. But he slips on the lower line going into turn 1. Parrish on the top side will take second back away from that 14. RJ Rosero might even take third away. He doesn't dive into 3 enough, though, to get to the inside of the 14. Oh, he's slowed up big time. Here comes Rosero now to the inside. But I think they will stay the same 1, 2, 3, 4, and indeed they will as Arnsdorf outruns Rosero. Oh, contact there between the Thibodeau Motorsports teammates, Jacob Thibodeau and Josiah Robinson making contact going off into turn 1 there. Thibodeau in the middle there in that 33, Robinson on the top. Will this shuffling allow Owen Miles in the 25 to get down low as pit cycles are getting ready to happen? Look out, guys. Everyone gets through now safe. Who's in the lead now? Will Parrish is up front, still leading this thing. It looks like Samet Ozgen came down. He was the only one among that top 5 that came down. So, and here he is coming down to his stall number 5. We'll wait to see who else comes down. Stapleton, Owen Miles, and a whole bunch others. Even ahead of them, the top 4 came down. And it looks like Thibodeau stayed out. So these guys are going to try the overcut. Thibodeau, Robinson, Lewis, Rowe, Young, Miller, Stover, Crouch, Harrison, and Johnson going to try the overcut. Samet Ozgen is the first off pit road of the undercut. And his teammate Kukulon right behind him. So will these guys be in the lead when they come around? Will they beat these guys off the pit road? Could they be in the lead? Parrish is coming off the pit road now. Trey Smith, Arnsdorf, Rosero. But where are Ozgen and Kukulon? Coming down the front stretch into 1. Ozgen's coming around. Kukulon's a little further behind. But it looks like it is going to be Samet Ozgen taking the lead. He's got the speed. Off into 3 on the high side. Well, Parrish may have gotten up to speed just in time there. But not enough to hold off Samet Ozgen at the line, but he will come back on the inside. Ozgen will stick on that high line and get around. So Samet Ozgen back to the lead here in the Genesis Medical 400. Not quite officially yet. Waiting for him to come around. There's Lewis coming off the pit road, so we know Lewis is not going to be leading, so I'm pretty sure it's Samet Ozgen leading. Ahead of Trey Smith, Will Parrish, Sebastian Kukulon, and RJ Rosero, the top 5. And indeed, as the standings update as we come around, now on lap 32, 23 laps to go. We have been caution-free thus far. It's been a good, clean race here at Homestead. And meanwhile, behind, this is Nathan Smith going on Sofia Fregniti. The 2 slowest cars after the big pileup at Daytona. Not with damaged cars now, and they are flying around this track. Ridiculous speeds and very much in contention if something happens to get back up to the front and potentially be in contention for this race victory. But now coming around for 21 laps to go, it is Samet Ozgen leading. The 77 of Trey Smith, Will Parrish in 3rd, and Ozgen's teammate Sebastian Kukulon in the 4th position. Darian Arnsdorf takes 5th away from RJ Rosero, who falls to 6th. Joey Hightower 7th, but a big slingshot to the inside, and Hightower will take the 6th position away, or is Hightower a lap down? And Joey Hightower is a lap down car, so that will not be a loss of position for RJ Rosero. But Joey Hightower is trying to run down the leaders, so that way if there is a caution, he could get his lap back. but he's very much out of race winning contention now, being a lap down. Wonder what in the world happened to that 8 car, but whatever happened, maybe just a bad pit stop. He can't win this race now. Meanwhile, up front, Osgood and Trey Smith going to go at it again. Smith on the inside of the 83, side by side at the line. Half car length advantage for Kukulon going into one, or not Kukulon, Osgood, as Kukulon's going to go to the inside of Will Parrish there, side by side for third. Osgood's going to stretch away on the outside ahead of Smith. He's going to try to dive that Mustang into turn 3. He's going to be there coming out of turn number 4. Side by side down the front again. Now on to lap 37 here at Homestead. 28 laps to go. And it looks like it's going to be Trey Smith getting to the point on the inside of Sam and Osgood. The dive into turn 3 will Parrish get to the inside. He's not close enough to do that. But Osgood slipping a bit on that outside line. Trying to come back. He's got a mirror full of the 8. He got a little bit of a run going down the straightaway. But now Smith will clear for the race lead. And that shuffling, that little hold up there on the front straightaway allowed Parrish to have a run on the inside. And now even behind the teammates. They're going to go side by side. Kukulon down low. Osgood up top. Osgood with a huge dive in the middle. He's going to split them going through turn 4. Parrish slips out of it. Trey Smith up top. Osgood in the middle. And Osgood might take the lead back here. And he will. What a pass. The Wizard back to the lead here at Homestead. With 15 laps to go this time by. 4 cars under a blanket left to decide the Genesis Medical 400. This has been spectacular. This race has been absolutely brilliant, but we're not done yet. It's only just beginning. Down the back straightaway, they are closing in on a slower car. Trey Wright. He's not exactly damaged, but he is 41st, last car on the lead lap, 26.6 seconds off the lead, and these guys may or may not be closing in on him, so he may or may not play a factor as to who wins this race. 26.78 now the difference, so 18 100ths were gained by Sam and Osgood towards Trey Smith. Or Trey Wright. Trey Wright could go a lap down. Trey Smith in second, though, trying to hold off Will Parrish. And while these guys battle, it's allowed Osgood to slip away just a little bit. Kukulon could have a shot even to close in on the 77-0. And look behind. Pole sitter Darian Arnsdorf is closing in the 14. And these guys under a blanket, what a battle here. And Benny Watson, where did he come from, is now inside the top 10. He started way deep in the field and has leapfrogged several cars, presumably because of the pit cycle. And now, he might be able to add to his points lead here if he gets a good finish here. Parrish is going to go to the inside of Trey Smith for second. But again, that could allow Osgood to pull away here. Now with 11 laps to go, is still closing in on the 90 of Trey Wright. So it looks like this 90 may play a factor. What else is going to play a factor is the 77-0, still doing battle there. They're coming around for 10 laps to go. I don't think they're done yet. Oh, Trey Smith got a good turn 4 there. He might close in on the 83, and he did, albeit just a little, but he closed in. That's all that matters. Trey Smith trying to close in on the 83. Will Trey Wright maybe help him here as Osgen closes in on the back of the 90. Coming around for 9 laps to go this time. Smith took a slightly lower line there through turn 3 and 4 that time than Osgen did. Parrish is still slipping backwards. Osgen has now just about caught Trey Wright in the 90. And Trey Smith in the 77 has been closing in for the better part of the last handful of laps. He's running a higher line through turn 3 and 4 than Osgen did now, though. We'll see what it is at the line, 0.55. So Trey Smith might even close in on Sam Osgen. He's looking for win number 1 of his career, as is Will Parrish. And behind, Darian Arnsdorf has overtaken Sebastian Kukulon for the 4th position. And Sam Osgen has caught Trey Wright. Will this hold him up? Oh, just a little bit maybe coming out of turn 4. But it doesn't look like Trey Wright's going to put up much of a fight. Osgen will get around with relative ease now, with 7 laps to go. But Trey Smith will also get by relatively easy around his teammate. And he is still closed in on Sam Osgen, so this may not be over. 6 laps to go. The difference 0.24, so Osgen definitely did get held up there. This is going to be a close one here at Homestead. Trey Smith continues to close in. Has Osgen maybe used up his stuff here? Coming around for the final 5 laps in the Genesis Medical 400. If a caution were to come out now, the race would end. Trey Wright just the 2nd car a lap down in this race. The other one, Joey Hightower. No accident has happened in this race, so no slow cars to speak of. The next lap car would be Daisy Johnson, the 15. They don't even have to worry about her. Now to the inside, here comes Trey Smith in the 77. Not quite there, coming out of turn 4. 4 laps to go. Sam Osgen still leads the Genesis Medical 400. Taking the slightly higher groove through turn 1 and 2, as did Smith. Trying to stay in the draft down the back straightaway to close in on the 83. Into turn 3, Trey Wright's going to go to the inside of Trey Smith, though. Side by side for them. Is this going to end Smith's run? 3 laps to go. Sam Osgen trying to hold on for win number 2 of his career. Smith stretches away on the higher line, though. 2.5 laps to go. It's all come down to this. No lap traffic is going to play a factor here as to who wins this race. Smith taking the slightly lower line through turn 4. 2 laps to go. Is this all there is? Trey Wright getting to the inside may have hurt Trey Smith the last time by. Sam Osgen coming through turn 3 and 4. Will get the white flag this time, but Smith's closing in again. White flag at Homestead one more time around. The gap, a 1/4 second. Through turn 1 and 2, Smith's closing in big time on the lower line. Side by side down the back straightaway. Osgen's on the high line. Trey Smith's going to dive it into turn 3 and 4. Osgen still trying to get the runoff. They're side by side coming out of turn number 4. Osgen will slip ahead on the outside. Career win number 2. Sam Osgen wins the Genesis Medical 400 at Homestead. What a way to cap off this incredible race. One of the best in the history of the Cabela's Cup Series. Sam Osgen taking the win in this all-time classic. The first caution-free oval points-paying race in the history of the Cabela's Cup Series. That's always nice to see. And it goes to Samet Ozgen for Trinity River Racing, the first win for that organization. And the second win of Samet Ozgen's career after going a full season without a victory. He's back. It's his first win on this network since of 2021. So he joins Keegan Thompson as the only two drivers thus far to win in both 2020 and 2021. We'll take a look at the finishing results here for the Genesis Medical 400. Samet Ozgen wins with an average race speed of 181.789 miles per hour. Trey Smith, a close second there by 0.121 seconds. Will Parrish will settle for third with a great run for Ruby Motorsports. Darian Arnsdorf, the pole sitter, brings it home in the fourth position. Samet Ozgen's teammate Sebastian Kugelon in the fifth position there. Josiah Robinson sixth. Chris Reynolds in the seventh position. Ben Young, who started last, all the way up to eighth. A strong run for that Blackout Motorsports team. The same for Dan Park, the other Blackout Motorsports car, finishing ninth right behind Ben Young. And rounding out the top 10, your Daytona 500 champion, Benny Watson. And we'll scroll through the rest of your field here. Only two unable to finish on the lead lap. It's Trey Wright and Joey Hightower. And Wright may have played a factor into holding up Trey Smith. He was not able to get around Ozgen, but either way, Smith caught him there on the final lap, was not able to get by, and Samet the Wizard Ozgen pulls away and wins for the second time in the Cabela's Cup Series. Congratulations to him. And we'll take a look at your point standings and owner standings, and we'll wrap things up here at Homestead until the next race at Auto Club Speedway. That's going to be a fantastic race too. To kick off the West Coast Swing, we have that Auto Club. Then we follow it up with Willow Springs International Raceway. That's a track I've been really excited about taking this series to, and it's finally going to happen here in the Cabela's Cup Series. Then we'll round out the West Coast Swing with the Phoenix Raceway before we go on to the rest of the season. Those are going to be three good races there, and I'm excited to bring them to you. I hope y'all are excited for it too. So I've gone on long enough. We'll wrap things up here at Homestead, and until next time, y'all have a good one.